Hi, everybody. Welcome,
Hi.
welcome to our first Relation Spaces Power Burst with Tara Gretton. And
Yes.
so, as we said, we're going to share some quotes with you from the wonderful book written by the wonderful Vicky, Relationspaces. So our hope is that you can take something from this that will make a difference in your everyday interactions with the people in your lives. So our first quote is, Relationspaces seeks to understand presenting problems without becoming lost in them. So Vicky's going to share with us an example of what that might look like. So Relationspaces seeks to understand presenting problems without becoming lost in them.
You will know in your own experience that when you experience a problem, it's very, very hard to see past it. We become emotionally attached to the problem. We become emotionally involved in the problem. So an example, for example, in a family where you have children and your child is either behaving in a way that is uncomfortable for you, or something is happening with your partner, or whatever have you, you will think about this problem, and how you have dealt with it. And my experience in working with families, for example, that are experiencing a problem is that they know the problem really, really well. They can talk about it really well, all of the layers of the problem. They can dissect it really well because they've been living and breathing it. And families need to do that because they need to vent and experience some sense of relief. So the venting is important. But what we want to do here with you today is to encourage you to shift your thinking to trying to understand the problem through a solution lens, through a hopeful lens. Because as soon as we start talking about the problem that way, we find that we actually open a doorway, a gateway to change. And we find that we can place our energy into that change. And as a result, we begin to effectively work with the problem immediately. Tara?
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you, Vicky. So how might you do that? So coming from that solution-focused perspective, here's just some example questions of what you might say in response to a problem within the family. So as Vicky says, having that space to be heard, really, really important to feel listened to and have that opportunity to perhaps talk about what the problem is. But from that, rather than looking for more detail of the problem and analysing it, it may be more useful to ask, well, what do we want instead? What are our best hopes moving forward? If things were to be just a tiny, 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 tiny bit better, what would be happening? And what difference would that make to us? So asking for what's wanted instead and getting a good description of that. Having a conversation around what difference that would make if that was to happen. And perhaps also another question is, how have we managed in the past? How have we overcome challenges or problems in the past? What's worked? So it's that focus on the presence of what's wanted rather than the focus on the absence of what's not wanted.
Thank you, Tara. We really want your feedback. We want your comments, your thoughts. We want to extend the conversation with you. And we're happy to take what you're bringing to us and perhaps bring it back in a subsequent power burst. So please do respond. Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.